I leave it to
So
you now.
we're down to final thoughts now, is it?
Um, yeah, and yeah, you can do final thoughts and talk about anything that you noticed that I may or may not have missed, because I might have missed some things that you picked up on.
Well, let me think back. Small details, small details.
Grogu is
One
a
small
small detail.
detail I realised, which isn't exactly a nerding out thing, but Dr. Pershing, when he's talking on the Slave One later, his ear is actually still burnt.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was a small detail that I wasn't expecting them to keep. I was expecting maybe for them to bandage it up or something so they don't have to worry about it. But no, they actually burnt it.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
not obviously not his actual ear. That would have been,
Yes.
cruelty, abuse. But no, they used some sort of makeup or prosthetic or whatever they did. They did it. It worked. It
Oh,
looks good.
fair play. I wouldn't even have thought of looking at that, actually. Damn.
And then another thing I realised. Well, this is less something I realised, more something that I was thinking about. People can. This is going back to something that I said earlier. People complaining about the Whammon because, given their histories, you'd expect them to be pretty good fighters to be able to tear through your common soldiers like stormtroopers. So what's the problem? Cara Dune, literally her whole occupation is killing stormtroopers. Bo-Katan, Sasha Banks, but Sasha Banks doesn't usually kill stormtroopers, but in this universe she does. So
Yes.
they kill stormtroopers. They have literally bulletproof armor. Like, they can't be killed, essentially. And their race is known for fighting Jedi, so they're going to be pretty good against common soldiers.
Yeah, common soldiers are going to be piss. Pretty much.
And then Fennec, she's probably the least viable, but even then, she's a pretty good sharpshooter. She had a big bounty on her head.
She 180 no-scoped someone, like when we saw her back in action again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like it was anything out of the ordinary. It's not like Rey suddenly learning how to use this ability or that ability or pulling this one out of her arse and all that shit.
Yeah, like, it makes much more sense. Much more logical and viable.
Speaking of, talent is nothing without the training to use it.
Yes.
That was another dig that they've given to the sequel trilogy.
Right, who said
2 digs,
that?
one show, one season.
Who said that one? Was that Ahsoka as well?
No, Luke said something about talent is nothing without the training.
Oh, in the episode, of course. Yeah, I forgot that. I remembered he didn't say much.
Speaking about Luke, when his X-Wing first shows up, there was a little musical cue. And I just about noticed it. And I was like, okay, yeah. I mean, I thought it was him because of the X-Wing.
Yeah, I thought that was the X-Wing.
Why else would there be a lone X-Wing? But then I heard that musical cue and I was like, oh, yep, it's him. And then they have him going through the corridors, Vader style, destroying everything. And then they had kind of like a new version of the Force theme, I guess. But also different.
I mean, Luke in the corridor like father, like son, that's what I'd like to say.
Oh, yes.
I love both their corridor scenes.
Although there was one slight detail that I noticed, which was a negative thing. When Luke's hood is still up, his chin looks completely different.
I didn't look at his chin.
I was trying to see if I could see his face, and I could just see his chin. He hasn't got the bum chin. He hasn't got that weird, I don't know, spot or whatever it is by his, like, on his chin as well. Like, it kind of looked like a stock CGI model. But I mean, as much as that is annoying from as somebody that looks at those smaller details, it's not so bad, you know, when you're just watching it and you're enjoying it.
Mm.
Excuse me.
That's alright.
But yeah, when you're sitting there and watching it, frame by frame, you're gonna notice those kinds of things.
Yeah. I mean, when you're really looking in to get much more detailed, well, much more detail, like in perception, I guess you could say, from it. You're going to be looking into the finer things, and actually, yeah, much more with a much closer eye. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, overall, this episode was, well,
amazing.
it was the best episode so far. By
Yes.
quite a bit, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Even if only for Luke Skywalker. The real Luke Skywalker, not Jake Skywalker. And that abortion that was The Last Jedi.
Yeah, not some B-Tech.
Not even B-Tech. Like, you can't even call it a cheap knockoff because it was nothing like him.
It just... not even an alternate universe would have been that bad. That was just wrong, pretty much. It just wasn't.
It was literally just somebody took a shit and said it was Luke Skywalker.
And that's how he died.
Yeah, taking a shit. But this episode, it showed Luke Skywalker as Luke Skywalker. I mentioned this to you before, Chris, about how I saw a comment that put it perfectly. He had the wisdom of Yoda, the patience of Obi-Wan Kenobi, the power of the Chosen One, and the heart of Padme.
Oh, you didn't mention the heart of Padme bit, but even so, I agree.
Yeah, that was something I forgot when we spoke about it before.
Oh, Padme.
Natalie Portman.
Yes.
Let's not get too excited, Chris. Come on.
I mean, I've got other things to think about, which still tie into the episode to a degree, I guess you could say.
Oh, yes. Yes, of course. I mean, Bib Fortuna, they could have kept him skinny like how they did in Return of the Jedi, but I think him being fat worked well.
It was quite
Not
funny
just the
as well.
comedic value, but the, like, he's in power, he's not going to be as active, he's going to just be sitting on his arse all the time. But Boba Fett taking the throne in Jabba's palace.
That was a cool shot.
I feel like they're going to do something more with Boba Fett beyond this.
Oh, they better. They better. Honestly.
Now,
they better.
obviously, there was the tease of the Book of Boba for December 2021, but I'm thinking something a bit more immediate, like with The Mandalorian. Now, I'm not quite expecting it to be like he's fighting for the throne of Mandalore, because he clearly doesn't care that much for being a Mandalorian. But I'm thinking maybe he starts trying to amass some power. Maybe he even creates some sort of truce with the Mandalorians. They work together or something. Because I don't see him trying to go against the Mandalorians, because A, that would be a stupid idea, and B, they're better off working together. But next season, I definitely believe there's going to be some Mandalore stuff going on. I don't know if they'll do a Mandalorian Civil War again, considering there's been, what? That would be the third Mandalorian Civil War in canon.
Possibly.
And that's not including the one in Star Wars: The Old Republic, or the one that happened just after Knights of the Old Republic. That would be 5
That would be
total.
5. That's a lot of wars.
I mean, I know they're a warrior culture and all that, but do we really want to see the same thing again? Yes, but from a narrative standpoint, it's boring. But on screen, it would not be boring.
No, it'd be cool.
It's Mandalorians.
As long as Sasha Banks and if they're doing it then, as long as Sasha Banks, Din Djarin, and Boba and Bo-Katan are still there, I'm happy. With the same cast as well, so obviously Katie Sackhoff and that.
Yeah, if they kill off these characters, there will be some outrage.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Boba Fett, you kill him off, and it's just gonna be like, why would you even fucking bring him back?
Yeah, just to die. Traitors.
That's like Kathleen Kennedy's Star Wars thing to do. bring back a beloved character. Okay,
Kill
let's
it.
take a shit on them. Kill them.
Mm.
Yeet them off a cliff. Just murder them.
I mean, there was something I was
But,
actually talking to a friend on
yeah, I mean-
Snapchat about the Boba Fett stuff, though.
Go on.
It was talking about how back during the Clone Wars and that Maul took over, or was it the Black Sun or something? And or
Yeah.
had his own like crime world thingy. And obviously in Solo we see Kira contact Maul, and so she's basically going to be heading something then. But then
Yeah.
something about how does it? I mean, I don't know the story unless it's already been confirmed. But how, like, what happens to them? Obviously we know Maul dies. But like how it would end up going to Jabba, or like, because something happened to the Hutts as well, that Maul like killed them or something or another, and then
Well, he didn't kill all the Hutts. I believe he killed most of them.
most of them, obviously
that were
Jabba
there.
didn't die.
So that way Jabba would sort of comply with him. But once Maul died, I would assume that the Hutts sort of started building up their own thing again. Because by the time of the Galactic Civil War, Jabba and the Hutts had their own sort of power base again.
Alright.
And the Empire sort of went to the Hutts and was like, okay, let's broker a deal kind of thing. And I mean, Vader's idea of a deal is force choke, but it worked.
So I was like fishing for a way to see Emilia Clarke again. Because I would very much like to see Emilia Clarke again. Because who doesn't love Emilia Clarke?
True. But I mean, I think the only problem is the age of the character. I mean, no, she's not too old, but because of the fact, I don't think Solo was that bad.
No, I liked it.
But with the fact that Solo didn't actually do too well, would there be a point in bringing them back, like that part back? Like, I think they could do something with the crime syndicate, but I feel like it's more likely that Kira did lead them, but possibly escaped at some point, or died at some point, because if she had escaped, she probably would have been with the Alliance. But I feel like it's probably a theory I have is actually that Boba Fett might try and take over the crime syndicate. Either that, or he's going to use Jabba's palace to re-establish his bounty hunters guild.
That'd be cool to see. That'd be very cool to see.
Because I think as well, it would be nice if they established whether the main bounty hunters guild that Mando was working for with Grief Karga is the same bounty hunters guild that Boba created in the first place.
I want to know where it came from.
Because if it's the same one, why doesn't Boba just go back there? Like, he could quite easily just show that he's better than all of them, and then that's it. He'll be on top again.
I mean, yeah, would that even be around still in Navarro? Because it's not so crimey now.
No, but you'd think a bounty hunters guild of that caliber, where you've got people like Bosk, Dengar, IG-88, Greedo, Boba Fett, Aura Singh, Cad Bane, Embo.
Embo, oh, badass.
All of these different names, they were all part of that same syndicate.
I didn't know that.
That same bounty hunters guild. So if they're all part of the same bounty hunters guild, I highly doubt that the whole thing would have been wiped out just because it's not on one planet anymore.
Right.
I feel like it might have been more of like how the Hutts are, where say Zero the Hutt was on Coruscant, but Jabba the Hutt was on Tatooine. They're going to be on different planets, and the Hutt homeworld is now Hutta. But like, maybe, I don't know, Boba Fett re-establishes his rule over the Bounty Hunters Guild on Tatooine. However, one thing against that is, why would he be trying to have, like, you know, a throne and seize power for a Bounty Hunters Guild if the only thing he's ever really done is bounty hunting? If he wants to bounty hunt again. Why not just bounty hunt? Offer your services to people. Just send a message out to the galaxy. Yeah, I'm back, bitches.
Hello,
Give me the
bitches.
money.
It's your boy.
But yeah, I feel like it's more likely he's gonna either have something to do with the crime syndicate, or maybe just be. He might just be amassing a power base for the sake of power, just to rebuild his reputation as somebody who's not to be messed with in the galaxy. Because after dying, your reputation's going to take a little bit of a dive at least.
Yeah, but you died.
Yeah, like, you're supposed to be dead.
You could just say, I cheated death. I'm invincible, bitch.
And it's just like, yeah, but you still got beaten by a blind man with a stick.
He's no Chirrut way, but he'll do.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like they could do something interesting with Boba. Whether the Book of Boba is going to be, you know, an actual book or a show, or if they decide to do more in the Mandalorian, I feel like there'll be something interesting there. And then the Mandalore stuff, I think, would be quite interesting because obviously Bo-Katan doesn't want to take the Darksaber.
No.
So I'm thinking maybe, I said it to you before about Din Djarin sort of being the face of like the military leadership in a way, where he's like basically how the Mandalorian protectors were. It's like the Mandalorians are no longer trying to conquer everything, and instead they're trying to help the galaxy by, like, maybe they're hunting the Imperials or something.
Yeah, helping rid the galaxy.
It stays within their code because they're, you know, they're getting their retribution against the Empire, but they're also doing something good.
Yeah.
And then that could explain why he has the Darksaber. Like, he's on the forefront of the leadership on the field, and then Bo-Katan is just the leader who sort of tells people what to do, kind of thing. But with the way that they've set it up, I feel like it's more likely that she's gonna force him into a fight or some shit, and then she's gonna either take it back, or maybe he still wins.
Maybe.
But if he still wins, then the question becomes, how the hell is he going to lead when he knows fuck all about his own society? I feel like that wouldn't work very well, so I feel like there has to be some sort of compromise between the
Bo-Katan,
absolutes of, you know, Mando taking leadership and Bo-Katan taking leadership. There has to be something in the middle. Now, I don't necessarily think they're going to go the Legends route of Boba Fett taking control, because he's doing his own thing at the moment, and he doesn't really care about being a Mandalorian. But I'm thinking maybe Bo-Katan, maybe they, you know, sort of end up being like, why do we use this silly little weapon to say who's better?
Yeah, because it is just like a sword.
Like a symbol of, it's a symbol of how good you can fight, but it's not a symbol of, you know, good leadership, as Bo-Katan has shown in the past by allowing the Empire to take control in the first place. So maybe they even re-establish the Darksaber as a symbol of power, and, you know, to be the foremost warrior of the Mandalorians, but not necessarily the leader. And then have the leader be chosen by smart coordination and, you know, actually being a leader.
Actual leadership skills, yeah.
But again, that's trying to discount the previous way the Mandalorians have done it, which is through combat. Like, it used to be Mandalore's mask, until Revan hid the mask, and then he allowed Canderous Ordo to find it again. And then he became Mandalore. And eventually became the Darksaber, and the Darksaber was the symbol of leadership. So they have always had that sort of thing where they will fight for the right of leadership.
Mm.
But maybe it would be interesting for them to do something different to show that they can still be badass, but not complete savages when it comes to choosing their leadership. I think that would be more interesting. I think that would be a good idea.
It'd be very interesting to see how they run, but I think they'll do a good job either way. I trust the people in charge.
As much as I'm a fan of Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni did bring us the pacifist Mandalorians. I mean, yeah, George Lucas had a hand in that as well, but, you know, pacifist Mandalorians, really?
No, they brought them about, but then they also, you know, showed them their flaws and how it wasn't necessarily the wisest move to make. Not like, oh, we did a bad decision with this arc, but more how this isn't necessarily how they should live, sort of thing.
True.
I guess they kind of showed that pacifism isn't always the way.
Maybe if they did that with the normal Mandalorians, showed why their society is flawed, and they actually fixed. They can find a compromise between the warrior way and the pacifist way for the Mandalorians.
That'd be nice. Yeah.
Or they can actually live as a real society. But yeah, I mean, aside from all of the brain-racking theories, because, you know, it's difficult to find out, to try and figure out exactly what's going to happen, because, well...
There's no way of telling.
Exactly, and we haven't been given any details about what's going to happen next season yet. We've known that Jon Favreau has finished writing, and that, you know, there's going to be spin-off shows.
And wasn't Pedro Pascal leaving as well?
Ahsoka. No, he's not.
Oh, okay, cool.
He debunked that within the last week or so. He was talking about how all those rumours about him being a sissy about not taking off his mask are wrong. He's completely fine with not taking his mask off. And I mean, I think the way he went about it was the good way to go about it. He wasn't throwing a hissy fit about, you know, oh, why are people trying to make things up and stuff. He addressed it maturely, respectfully. He was just like, no, these things aren't true. People are just spreading rumours.
That's fine.
I mean, considering apparently the previous show that he was in, he got his skull caved in, I don't think he minds too much about how his face looks.
No, that's cool.
On the subject of Pedro Pascal, though, he had some really good acting scenes in this one.
Oh, he did. He really did.
I mean, even though the majority of the time in this show he's just voice acting, the couple of minutes where he had his helmet off,
and you actually
that was a touching scene. I mean,
very.
Grogu is the first person to ever actually touch his face. Like, obviously, that's a very small gesture, but for a character like Din Djarin, who does not take his helmet, like, his whole ideology that he was sort of radicalized into his whole life was, you cannot take your helmet off, you cannot take your armor off. You're not allowed.
It's banned.
But they've shown that he's had some character development, that he can take it off, and he's willing to just... He knows that just the dogmatic rules are not the way to go.
A dogmatic view of the Death Watch.
This is not the way.
This is not the way, no.
But yeah, I think that was a nice scene, and obviously Luke Skywalker being back.
Oh, that was so cool.
That is the highlight of the entire show. I don't think they can top that.
That's going to be hard to... It wasn't just him, also R2-D2.
Yes. I'm also very glad they didn't just, you know, get... Like, as much as I'm a fan of Sebastian Stan, I'm glad they didn't use him.
I was theorising that, like, when I realised who it was, I was thinking, oh, Mark Hamill's too old, but Sebastian Stan, I wouldn't be against that, because I think he would look quite good, but no.
Definitely, it was CGI, 100%.
Yeah, they did use a different body actor, but they did just CGI the face, basically, yeah.
Yeah, they had a stuntman doing all of the movements, and then they CGI'd Mark Hamill on there, and I'm pretty sure Mark Hamill did the voicing, because Mark Hamill's a talented voice actor. I'm pretty sure he can emulate his old voice if he wants to.
Yeah.
I mean, his voice is a bit more grovelly now, but pretty sure if you're talking like this all the time, you can loosen it up a little bit and talk like this instead. Obviously, that's not a impersonation of Mark Hamill whatsoever.
I sounded more like Boba Fett.
It's just an example of having a grovelly voice and then a less grovelly voice.
Are you trying to be Tamura Morrison?
I couldn't pull off that accent if I tried.
No, neither.
You know I've tried as well.
What should I say though? That's New Zealand, right?
Yes, Kiwi.
I can pull off the accent, just as the wrong character.
Yeah, you're cool.
I'm Korg. It'd be a bit awkward if he just took off his helmet and was like, "Hey, take it easy, man." I'd be like,
No. Okay, we've got to keep this next bit on video, right? But in the Korg voice, do a Boba Fett line.
I gotta think of an iconic Boba Fett line.
I'm just a simple man.
It's Jango Fett, but I guess it still works.
Well, no, because Boba Fett had a similar line in episode 6.
True. Oh, fuck. I'm just a simple man trying to make my way through the universe. Oh, yes. Traveling the galaxy. I see things. I do things. I'm a bounty hunter, you know? That would be weird.
See, if you used that accent, but just changed the voice, like, had a lower tone, like, brought it down a bit,
it would be good.
then it would work.
I mean, saying that though, Taika Waititi was IG-11, so I mean, I guess it's a half win.
Taika Waititi was IG-11.
Yes, he was. Did you not know
Damn,
that?
no.
Mad, I knew. I was like, yes, it's Taika Waititi, and then obviously when IG-11 died, I was oh no. But then he came back again with Queel, and I was like, yes, more Taika. I was very happy with that.
Damn. He did pretty well, to be fair.
He killed himself.
I mean, he killed his voice box because
He killed his voice box.
He was voice acting, I'm pretty sure. But
Oh, definitely, yeah.
it was still good.
Oh yeah, very.
But yeah, I mean, I think this episode, like I've said already, the best of the season. Looks like we're gonna have to go back and review season 1.
Possibly.
But I think it's just not gonna be as good as it was on our first viewing because now we've seen season 2.
And we know what's coming and how good it is.
Yeah, because this season was fan service done well.
It was fan service, but done beautifully.
I think the only bit I have a little bit of an issue with is, like, maybe how Boba Fett just turns up out of nowhere.
It's just
like,
hello, here I am.
He could have got his armor beforehand. And how did he track Mando to Tython? But anyway, that's not even this episode.
No.
My final thoughts on the episode. It was obviously a very good episode, in case people couldn't tell already. But
It's beautiful.
rating it, I still find is difficult. Now, I say that because I hate giving 10s. I hate giving 10s. Because no episode is perfect.
No.
But this episode was bloody well near perfect.
Yeah. Not even Victory and Death from Season 7 of the Clone Wars was a 10. And that was a great episode.
Honestly, Victory and Death, I kind of hold it to the same regard in terms of objective quality. Obviously, I think I like this episode of The Mandalorian more because it had the fan service of bloody Luke Skywalker coming back. He's literally the first character I ever saw in a movie, ever. Like Luke Skywalker, the cave scene from episode 5. That was the first movie scene I ever saw in my life. At least that I can remember.
It's a good scene, to be fair.
But, like, obviously that's going to put this ahead in my subjective opinion, but objectively, I would say they're both on equal playing fields.
That's fair.
But it's difficult to grade it without doing 0.5s, so I'm thinking I'm going to have to do 10s.
If you can put 9, it's okay.
No, I can't. I can't.
Why?
Because there's literally nothing wrong with the episode.
So you're gonna say 10?
Yes.
Do you know what? I respect that. Because I was thinking a very similar thing. I mean, I wanted to say 9.5, but I know how we are about that.
Yeah, because honestly, I wanted to go lower, but I just couldn't because there's nothing wrong with it. There's not, like, even the last episode, there was things in the episode I didn't like. This episode, there was nothing in it that I didn't really like.
We did get more Bill Burr.
Maybe, but I feel like he had a decent amount of closure in last episode.
He did, yeah.
They gave him good character development. I don't feel like they needed to bring him back for more.
No.
Maybe in the future, maybe Mando runs into him or something. Becomes, like, you know, a random contact that he can use. I mean, I guess I could nitpick out Boba Fett not having a bigger role in the final fight, but we already had 3 Mandalorians walking around. We didn't need a 4th. Well, he's not a Mandalorian, but he's got the armor.
Basically, in essence, had 3 Mandalorians, or 2 and a bit.
Yeah. Well, no, we would have had 4, because we already had Mando, Bo-Katan, and Sasha Banks.
Sasha Banks, yeah. And we also had a fucking member of Faye's clan with Fennec and She-Hulk.
Yeah. It would have been a bit much, and he served his purpose well. I don't think it would make sense for anybody else to be flying his ship, because his ship is so unique.
It's so unique to him, yeah.
And we got to see some cool things with his ship, you know, the guns shooting backwards. We haven't really seen that before, apart from in LEGO sets.
Oh yeah, good. I didn't know they could do that.
Yeah, I didn't think that was an actual thing in Star Wars either, but I mean, I guess it's plausible because in Episode 2 you see them aim kind of down at Obi-Wan.
A little bit, maybe, yeah.
But I didn't think, oh yeah, they can go backwards, but it happened. And also the ion shots. So
yes.
So you know what? I'm not even mad about him not having a big part in the episode. It's not even a problem to me because he still played a significant enough role, in my opinion. He's doing what he used to do. Not being the main focus, but being badass at everything that he did. But yeah. So I'm gonna rate it a 10. That's going to be like one of the only 10s I'm ever going to award anything, because anybody that knows me knows that I am a very critical person when it comes to watching things. Especially my Star Wars. You don't touch my Star Wars if you don't know what you're doing. Looking at you, Ryan Johnson, J.J. Abrams, Kathleen Kennedy. Okay. But yeah, for me, 10 out of 10.
I will say 10 as well. Honestly, yeah, 10. It made me cry, so I should bring it down, but I'm saying 10.
I think that's the most unanimous vote we've had so far.
So on average, 10, that is 20, of course. 20 out of 10, it was amazing.
Maths,
yes.
But yeah, so that was our review of the finale of Season 2. We have a neat little playlist that has all of the reviews. Unfortunately, YouTube was being a prick to us, so the review for Episode 7 didn't go up straight away, so it's probably coming out around the same time as this one, if I'm not mistaken.
So they might be released within a day of each other. I'm gonna get...
Yeah.
Even though we're saying this, 7 will be up before 8, unless it just doesn't allow 7 to go up. In which case there isn't much we can do. Because I've still got the recording, so I might just delete that and then re-upload it, or try to re-upload it. So that should hopefully work. 7 should be up before this one.
Yes, and it will all be in one playlist on our channel. It's just going to be Mandalorian Season 2 reviews. Now, we will be doing reviews on Season 1 at some point, and then possibly reviewing other things, because
yeah, agreed.
At that point, that would have been all the TV shows done. There won't be any more for a little while anyway.
About the Clone Wars.
So,
That'll take a while.
Oh yes, we can do the Clone Wars.
It'll take a long time though. If we're
Oh
doing
yes,
right
it
from
would.
season
I
1.
think I feel like that one we wouldn't be able to do it episode by episode.
No, maybe season by season, but chop them in half. So season like 1 part
Or
1.
arc by arc.
Arc by arc. Arc could work. The Siege
That
of
would
Mandalore
make
arc.
it quite long,
Yes.
but it would work.
It would work. I mean, say the Siege of Mandalore arc, that would just be 10 out of 10.
Yes. You can find all of our Mandalorian Season 2 reviews on one playlist. I'll probably get it linked at the end of this video on the little card, or maybe in the pop-up on the top of the screen. But,
Card in the top right-hand corner.
that will have all of our reviews for this season. Hopefully Season 7 will be allowed to be uploaded, because for some reason that was pending for 2 days.
Episode
3
7.
days.
You said season 7.
What?
You said season 7.
Oh, well, yeah, Episode 7.
Yes! We can time travel.
Bloody hell. Hopefully it goes on that long, but...
Oh, that'd be cool, yeah.
But yeah, so, hopefully Episode 7, will be, our review for that will be up sooner than this one. If not, it will eventually be in that playlist anyway. So we're probably going to review Episode 1... Not Episode 1, Season 1. What the hell's going on with me?
We might as well do the actual main movie. We'll start with the Phantom Menace.
Yeah. So, we will be recording Season 1. Well, not the actual season, like, you know, reviews like we're doing now.
Reviews of Season 1,
My brain is switching off right now, so I'm making
That's cool.
mistakes. But you know what? Comedic value. We'll probably end up reviewing the movies and Clone Wars arc by arc. Then, hopefully, even some of the games.
Oh god, yes.
You know, got Battlefront 2. We've used it enough in the background. Jedi Fallen Order, that's a good one.
Oh,
There
Fallen
may be
Order was
even some of the
amazing.
old retro games.
Some of them we might need to do some solo bits on. Like, I know the Old Republic, like the PC ones, only you've got so far. So I wouldn't want to hold you back on doing it, but I'm definitely planning on getting a PC and doing it myself, and we can do things together that way. But especially on some, like, on some story arcs or even expansions, if you wanted to start, I'd say go for it. Let's get them up.
Yeah. I feel like I'm gonna wait for a while though, until I've A, got an upgrade to my PC,
That's cool.
and B, when there's less expansions coming out. Because I still haven't even finished the newest expansion, and there's more slated to come out next year.
Oh, Jesus.
Like, they're not slowing down anytime soon.
No, they're
So-
going for it because they're getting money from it. Getting good money.
So yeah, you might even have a PC by that point, and we can go through all of it together, and then we can make one big review.
I would hope so, yeah. I want to get on it. Desperately.
Even if we just review each storyline piece by piece, you know, like a Jedi Knight storyline review, Jedi Consular, blah blah blah, then the expansions, blah blah blah, light side, dark side. But yeah, after that long bit of rambling at the end, which is a little bit of a discussion about what we're thinking we might do, that was our review, and that's the last of our reviews for The Mandalorian Season 2.
Yeah.
We will be reviewing Season 1, considering we weren't really active at that point.
Yeah, we didn't
So-
think of it.
Keep an eye out for that. Same time next week.
Potentially, yeah. All things permitted.
Okay, so join us next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Fuck off.